the Unimark. Yes, let me first of all thank the Unimark library team for finding me worthy to join your team for this exercise. I'm very excited about it, and especially as a library association, it's been our hope to get together to support our researchers in the country to play our role to, get especially our graduate students and our researchers play our help and give them our help and support to be able to carry out with their work. Most often than not, it's been the faculty doing almost everything to get the paper out, and these are some of the areas that we are hoping to support in. So I'll take this as a beginning of the collaboration. Now, what we are going to do today, simply as I was assigned, is to look at the Mendeley Reference Manager. And as a reference manager, as I remember sometime whilst we do this, someone asked me, "Oh, but why can't I do? I've been doing this manually for all these years. Why would I not continue to do that? Why do I have to learn this to now apply?" And what you realize is that ICT is becoming the backbone of everything. And so when there's a tool that can be used to make things easier, we all hope that we'll come aboard and then apply these tools to make things easy. Just to show my face for a bit until the line begin to. Okay, so once I do the intro, please, if you have the software installed and you've created your account, kindly open the software and sign in. I'm doing the same. And so what we are going to basically do is to go through how to apply the software. These are very easy to use software, but sometimes, I've had instances where people find the time that it will take to learn to be quite burdensome, and so they rather prefer to go the manual way continuously. But what I can assure you is that once you take about 2-3 hours to perfect this, it's almost like a lifetime support system that makes things easy. So what does this software do for you as a researcher and as a student? First of all, it's not just about helping you to do your referencing and also populate your reference list as you write your papers and your thesis. It's first of all help you to gather and store your research sources. So what I mean by research sources, as we speak, there probably may be one of us online right now who has a lot of journal articles on pen drive, some on your PC, some probably in your emails. And almost every now and then, when you have had to work, then you have to be looking for these files, or probably they may be on a particular system that you mostly use. And so, what it means is that when you are normally not by that system, then there's that hindrance. You may have to wait to get to that system before you are able to work. What I call the machine dependence in terms of research. And so what is the Mendeley software and most of the reference management software available on the market does for you is to help you store your research sources firstly. So what it means is that it makes you machine independent. Anywhere you find yourself, you have access to your resources and you are able to continue with research. If it has to do with researching for related content, to be able to work when you are seated at your research desk, or if it has to do with continuous work whilst in the bus, whilst in the flight, these things are organized for you. And then secondly, helps you with making easy your in-text citation. And then the most importantly, especially for students, help you with populating your reference list, which is something that I find to bother a lot of students. It's quite time wasting. So, for instance, for an MPhil thesis or PhD thesis, once you've taken all the time to finish with the work, you realize that it takes you even more time to populate the reference list, especially if your supervisor is somebody who is very keen on getting your references right. And so you find students after they've done the work spend days trying to format their reference list. But when you use these softwares, once you do your in-text citation, the system does the automatic population of the reference list. So as I mostly say, by the time you hit last full stop, your reference list is also populated, and so you are able to submit on time. And then again, it's also help you with the automatic switching of the reference style. So, for instance, if you submit a paper to a particular journal and the journal says that we only use Vancouver, we don't use APA. It's just by a click of a button, and then you are good to go instead of having to reformat or probably pay someone to do all these things for you manually. And so these are some of the benefits that we get when we use this software. And so, yes, so I'm hoping that we have logged in. I'm logging in as well, and then I'll share my screen. One other benefit you get is also what they call annotation. There are instances where you maybe reading a content, maybe a book, maybe an article for a particular portion of the research. Maybe you are looking for a sample size technique, and whilst reading, you come across something, some piece of text that you probably can use for, conclusion or, some other part of the project. And then you find yourself skipping it. Later, you remember you want to come back. The software helps you to be able to annotate all these areas so that when it gets to the time that you actually need it, you are able to go back and then find it easily to be able to apply it to the work. And so there are quite a number of benefits that a user of these packages is able to do. Now, the reason I prefer Mendeley especially is because of its ease of use, and also the fact that it's the only one that's on the market with a free account beside the subscription base that also gives you more storage space than any other on the market. The rest of the ones on the market, unless Minimac is subscribing, mostly they won't give you that much storage that can last you a year or two. But Mendeley does that, which is why I mostly like to push that for especially researchers and graduate students. So I hope we are logged in. So what we are going to do today is to look at how you get your content into the system. So as a researcher, it is your duty to get your research content uploaded into the software as you have it. Kindly sign in those who may want to follow through as we work. There's a moment, let me sign in and then we can continue. Sign in.
Mr. Mwafo, please, you can continue.
Sure, all right. So let's a moment to share my screen. Host, please allow me to share my screen. The system says I'm not allowed. Kindly allow me to share my screen. Zafrani, if you can kindly allow me to share my screen. So I can. Okay, so what's that song going? I was saying that what we're basically going to do is in 3 stages. We are going to look at how to upload our research content onto the Mendeley software platform. And then we'll look at how to now use the uploaded content to do the in-text citation, and then how to activate the automatic population of the reference list. And I know there are some online who already have been using the software who are very good at it. So as and when you have some contribution, if I forget to share something that you think is relevant, please don't hesitate to draw my attention or even contribute to it. Host, please, I can't share my screen. If you can enable me. Host, kindly pay attention when they come alive, mute them unless there's a question to be asked. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're over 100 now, so let's continue. Let me just close this and then restart. So we were on how to get our content into our account. So I was saying, some of you, I'm hovering my mouse on the tab. You can see add new. So on add new, some of you, if you just install the software, it probably may read add reference. It's the same thing. So you click on add reference or add new or add content, and then you have this options pop up. And I was saying that import files refers to when you intend to select from a mixed content folder so that you choose individually when you don't want to upload all. Now, import folder. This, you choose this option when you intend to upload all the content of a particular folder. So, assuming you have a dedicated folder into which you download and upload all your research sources, then you choose import folder so that once you click on it, the system. So, for example, to select a few from here, then those will be the ones that will be uploaded. Import library. Now, import library gives you BibTeX option, EndNote, and RIS. So this is an option. For instance, if there's anyone online who is using EndNote, who is using Zotero or any other RefWork and any other reference manager, and let's hope that by the time we finish, you find Mendeley to be, better than or easier for you than the one you were using. What you need to do is to import your library from the previous software into Mendeley. So you follow this option. So if you are using EndNote, for instance, you click on EndNote, you follow through. If the library happens to be in my document, you follow through, you identify it, and then you upload it. And then we have watch folder. So watch folder gives you the option to create a folder on your desktop and then assign it. So for instance, I can go to my desktop and then assume to create a folder. So if I create a folder, I normally don't use that option, but then it's good to know. So let's assume I create this folder right now and I go back to the software. So what I do is watch folder. So I click on watch folder and then I may have to browse through the system. So change folder. I have to go to desktop. Basically done is that I've added or put content into it. Instead of having to upload it myself, the system will pick it up. So anytime any file falls into that folder, if I'm downloading and I direct the download into that folder, the system will pick it up automatically. Okay, so that's about watch folder. The last option, that is add reference manually. Now, this is where I will ask for more attention, and this is where, for me, it's very important in adding the content. Now, for the rest of your content, especially your ebooks and journal articles, you can always add them automatically, and the system will pick them. But when it comes to add reference manually, so this is a situation where in most of the content you see in my account, these are electronic copies. And so the system is able to work with them. But let's look at an instance where you borrowed a book, let's say a research method book from the library, and you are getting some content from it into your project. What it means that you still need the bibliographic information to cite it. And so you use add reference manually to create it. So add reference manually is used to create bibliographic data for a manual or a physical book, a website, a video, or any other non-electronic, formatted system that you may want to have information from, bibliographic information from. So let's go to add reference manually. So once you click, it gives you this form to complete. Now identify it. So we have DOI, ARS, blah, blah, blah. Mostly DOI is what we use most. Now, if anybody gave you a book, or probably if the book you're holding physically has a DOI, you can just type it in here and then click on lookup, and then the system will just complete this form for you. But normally, for older materials, that may not be the case. So you have to complete the form. So what you do is to choose the source type. What kind of source? Because we are aware that the bibliographic information you need to cite a book is a bit different from what you need to cite a journal article. It's a bit different from what you need to cite a website, a video, YouTube video, and all that. And so you need to choose the source type. So if you are following and acting, when you pop down, you see reference type. What kind of reference material are you using? So you can see build, you see book, you see book session. Book session is the same as book chapter. You can see computer program, case, conference proceedings, and everything. But what I'm going to make us use, for example, is a web page. I do this because mostly I see students take some things for granted when they are citing website. And so we are going to use a website, for example, to see how we can do this. So for that, choose web page. Web page. So assuming this were a thesis you borrowed from the library, then you choose thesis. So please beware and always choose right. Otherwise, the system will give you wrong bibliographic information. So what website are we going to? Unimark. Just a moment. Okay, so I am on the Unimark website. So let me show that, and then it can be on any other website you want. Normally, I will use World Bank and all that, but for today, so I'm on a Unimark website, home, and then let's assume we're looking for some bit of information, application for admission. So let's assume somebody is writing research on online university applications and is trying to do probably content analysis on the write-ups on what is posted on the university's website as directives for potential applicants. Well, so you come and then so let's assume we're here on this website. Let's see. Okay, for what I want to do, let me rather use this. So Unimark holds third matriculation ceremony for fresh students. So let's use this just because of some things I'm hoping, some exercises I'm hoping we do. Let me see if this will work. Use if it doesn't work, we'll get another. Okay, so Unimark holds matriculation ceremony for. All right. So if we're here now, so the first question from the form we are supposed to complete is the title of the content we are looking at. So let's assume you are on research and then you are on this website trying to fetch some piece of information. So what's the title of the content we are looking at? Now the title of the content is Unimark holds. Okay, so we copy that and then we go back to the software, go to title and paste. Just a moment, please. Okay. So we paste title. The next bibliographic data is asking, say author. Please enter and please look at this. Those who may have been using the older Mendeley version, that software package has been retired. Even though I find it useful for some activities for some reason, so I still have the older package. But this is the new interface. So some of the ways by which we used to enter author and all that is changed. So please pay attention. So please enter author names as last name, first name. Okay. So the question is, who is the author of the content we were looking at? So we go back to the website. Now, this is a question. Now, who can help me? Unmute your mic and talk to me. Who is the author of this website we're looking at?
Is that Unimark?
I'm asking a question. You're also asking a question. I would need you to
It's
make
Unimark.
it.
Yeah.
It's Unimark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, I want us to get this right. I'm not saying you are right or wrong. Why do you say Unimark? You must have a reason for saying it.
I'm saying so because it's the school that opened the matriculation for the students. So it seems as the author of the matriculation or the topic that's under discussion.
Okay. Okay. So this is basically the institution's activity, and so the content is for the institution. Now, in the situation, some instances, you would somewhere around this place or at the bottom of the article or the content, you may have an author's name there. In that case, will it still be Unimark? Now, I'm not just asking Mr. Boedu, it's for all of us. In that case, will it still be Unimark? Assuming I have an author's name and date here, but the content is still on Unimark's portal, will it still be Unimark?
No, I'm sure you use the author's name.
We use the author's name. Right.
Yes, the one provided.
The one who provided the content. Now, this is where the scrutiny happens, and especially most students make this mistake. So some assume that because it's on an institution's website, it's for the institution. Now, for instance, Prof. Eje can decide to write a content for Unimark, or can decide to write his own content. Unimark finds it instructive and decides to post it on their website. That does not give the authorship to Unimark. But assuming Professor Eche, as a staff of Unimark, is assigned to do the write-up for this matriculation, that means he's working in his official capacity as a staff. So he's not writing for himself. And so I'm saying this so that we pay attention in scrutinizing the content. So please always be sure that you scroll up and down, look both sides, and be sure that you are assigning the content to the right author. In most of this is a very easy one, and so we can all agree that it is for Unimark. Now let's answer another question. Which date are we going to use? Now we have the title, we have the author. Which date are we going to use?
Is the date you lifted that article or that piece of information from the net?
So we are looking for date of publication.
Yeah. No, the date you lifted that article on the net.
The date I lifted.
So I think the date is provided already.
So tell us, what's the date?
14th February 2025.
14th February 2020 what?
2024.
Okay.
2024. Yes.
All right. Now, if you also see here, this is not complete, but I say 21st February. Do you see that up here?
Yes. 21st February.
So that is there. And then the University of Media, Art and Communication welcomed 200 newly admitted students into its academic community on Friday, February 14, 2024. The new cohort includes So you see, this is what I mean by student. So it says admitted students into its academic community on Friday, so 14, 2024, 24. And this one also says 21st February. That it didn't give us a year. Now, assuming there's no date out up here, around anywhere here, where are you going to get the date from? Mostly we check on the status bar. You scroll way down here. Now this place also say copyright or right reserve 2023. So which of these, now we are having 3 dates. Only one cannot tell us the year, but we are hoping that it's 2024. So which one are we using? We have 2023 here. And then we have, let's say 2024 here. And 2020, which one are we using? Now we can't actually tell if this is 2025 actually, unless staff of Unimark will tell us when the graduation, the matriculation took place.
I think in actual fact, point of information, I think it should be 2025.
The matriculation took place in 2025.
Yes, the 14th was Vows Day. That was, I think, last 2 Fridays or so. Vows Day 14th was so it should have
No,
been
the 14th was 2024, not 2025.
Yes,
No, so I'm saying that the actual day it happened is 2025.
Oh,
okay. So what it means is that this is giving us the
error.
admissions process. If I am taking Dr. Martin's information, then this is giving us
an error. I think it was just an error.
There's a
this
wrong.
was
Yeah,
error.
the date is wrong
Yes.
there.
The date in the story is wrong. It should have been 2025.
Please don't say it too loud.
I'm
So
quiet.
outsiders may hear us. And so then the IT guys on the platform, please be sure that Unimark is a very big institution. Be sure that this is corrected. Okay, so you see the conclusion we have all come. So mostly this is what I use for an exercise. And so now, so we are ignoring this particular one, the Vars Day. Maybe the celebration was too much, that's why. So ignoring that, normally you see this 21st, so this will be 2025, and then you have 2023. Please note that you only use this. Now, this normally portrays the date that the web page was created. Now, web pages are created and populated. Sometimes I can have multiple contents. Okay, you see with the tab I click before coming here, there are so many tabs that when you click, gives you varied information of the university. So you need to watch. It's only when you don't have anything that you assume that the date on which the web page was created and populated is the same date that the content was also populated. But most often than not, that is never the case. Web pages can be created and they are populated. It can be repopulated. So for instance, this material is going to be corrected and populated. We don't know what will happen. And so
23 will be there.
So the date we have is 2025. So Unimark IT guys with us, please try and do the right thing. Okay, so we are going to use 2025. So I did this exercise, spending this much minute, just so that especially the students with us, you pay attention when you are doing these things. You may go to WHO's website, World Bank website, and all these things. Please be sure you are signing the authorship and looking for the right date. Please, if you are one of those who normally do no dates, the days of no dates are over. We are resetting research dates, just like Mama is resetting Ghana. So please pay attention and let's all do it right. Okay, so 2025. So let's go back to the software. Thank you, the contributors. Okay, so enter author's name. So we have agreed it's Unimark. So Unimark. Please, if you have multiple authors, unlike previously, the previous app where you put a comma and go up, this time around, you see it gives you another field. So if you have multiple authors, enter the next author's name. Now, this is an institutional author, which is why I'm using the abbreviation. I normally use the full. So you enter the next author's name, and if there are more than 2, please click on add another author. This is for, unless you are using the older version of the software, then you use the comments as we used to do. Otherwise, please. Okay, now the next content data we need, we agreed on 2025. Okay. We also need the URL for a website citation. Unfortunately for that, the software does not allow. So I'll copy first. So normally in the previous version, when you scroll down, you see URL, then you paste. Now that's not the case. Know that this is work in progress. So as you use it, no. So this time around, what you do is once you've entered the basic information, you click on add entry. So I click on add entry, and then the reference is supposed to be created. Where are you, Jack? Let me go to, okay, good. So it's here now. So once it's here, remember we didn't add the URL, which is very important. So you click on it, click on the reference we just created, and then it pops up on the side. So you can see change. When you scroll down, all right, where is it? URL. Yes, so when you scroll down, see URL. So you click. You can always edit it from here. And before I forget, assuming you do it and then you forget to enter the date, you can always come back here and do it. Please never edit the date in Microsoft Word as you write. If you do, when you close and open it, you change back to what is in here. All right, so I'll give an example when we go to the site. So from here, once we enter URL, I take it that at least we have basic information to cite the website and for Unimark not to hold us in plagiarism contempt. Okay, so that's about how you, so as I said earlier, if this happened to be a video, you do the same thing. So you take your time, you open the video, you watch it, you look at the date of publication. If it's there in the link, you pick it up. If it's in the video, that maybe the intro, they say, so you pick basic information to create, because whatever you're going to type is going to be listening to the video and typing the what you heard or what you intend to use into the project or work. So you need to pay attention and then select the bibliographic information you need so you can cite it. Okay, so that's about it. That's about how to add content to your account. If I suggest a brief recap, this is the most difficult part of the software. So we spoke about importing files, importing folders, import library, watch folder, and then we have done add reference manually. And I've said that this you do when the content you're uploading is not the normal formatted, electronic formatted ebook that a publisher would do. Now, what happens is that when I click on a book for modeling, so if I click on this, all this bibliographic information you see, I did not enter them. The software extracted them by default because this was formatted by a publisher. So the software is able to read them. But for what we do, or let's say a conference proceedings, it may not have been formatted like this. So you need to pay attention and then correct the bibliographic information when you enter them. Okay, so these are some options that you can use. So assuming you are looking for a recently used material, you can click on this, recently added, recently read, favorites. If you have publications yourself as an author, you can add your content here. Unsorted. So unsorted has to do with, so as we are going to move on to creating collections. So materials that you add without adding them to a collection or a folder are the ones that list under unsorted. And then there are times that you may have added a content that you forgot that you had, and so you add it again. These are all duplicates. So when you click on duplicate, these ones will populate. So you can see I have some here, and then you take your time to delete them to reduce the waste storage space that may be eating up your system. And then if you delete once a while, please kindly remember to go to trash and clear them because they all take up your storage space. Okay, so we are moving on to creating a collection. Now look, I have more than 2,000 content in my account. Let's assume I used a particular material last year, 2 years. Yes, hello. Was anybody calling my attention?
Hello, sir. Please, a question.
Please carry on.
Yes,
Miriam.
please. When entering your content, if the site you are sourcing, yes, is it appropriate to use the initials of an institution, just like we used here, or we should always write the name of the institution in full? Network is so bad.
United Nations, they can. No, that's why I left it like that. Remember, I mentioned that it's mostly Maria. Oh no. Okay, so if she comes back now, is am I online? Please, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, we can.
Hello, somebody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you
Yes,
loud.
yes,
Okay,
we can
right.
hear you, but we didn't get the response you gave.
To Mariam. Okay, so I was saying that normally it's good you type the full name unless it's an internationally accepted abbreviation that you can normally do that. So mostly the prices are you type the full name and then into what do they call that bracket? Square brackets, you put the name there, the abbreviation. But I was saying that names like UNESCO, WHO, some of those ones are UNICEF. They are internationally accepted, so you can use the abbreviation.
Yes, sir. Well understood. Thank you.
Yes, I type Unimark because it's we are doing a local exercise, and Unimark is also quite known to all of us. That's why. Okay, so I was saying that once you have this content, it's most likely that you may have a particular material and forget that you have it. So what you do, the system allows you to create what they call a collection. So if you are using, those of you using the older version, you will see folders instead of collections. You see folders. It's the same thing. So it allows you to create a folder and host your material. Now, this is very good when you're writing your project work. So you can see I have this folder here called DL. So DL is Distance Education and Electronic Learning. Now, if I pop this arrow down, you see that I have subfolders in there. Now, this is a graduate program that's run in the University of Ghana. So if I click on this, you see that materials related to DEL 601 are the ones populated. If I go to 602, these are materials. You go to 603, 608. So if you do this, you are able to. So for instance, if you're a PhD or a graduate student, once you create a folder for your main topic, then you can create subfolders or sub collections for the chapter. So chapter 1, chapter 2. What this does is that it enables you to be able to find the content easier and also relate them to which part of the project you use them. And also, if you're a researcher like Prof Eche, where you when you do this, it allows you to upload the content based on the particular article you are writing. So it's not like all your materials are scattered in the software. And so to do this, we scroll down because I have a lot. We need to scroll down, and then you see create collection. Create collection. I'm saying create collection is basically like saying create a folder. So you click on create collection, and then it gives you the text box. You type in there. So I will still use Unimark. Okay, and then you click on, previously you can just click outside, but in this new one, you click on this small check mark here to accept. So I've just created a collection called Unimark, so you can see it here. Now, currently, I don't have anything in Unimax. So when I click on it, you can see that this space is empty. Now, you can either upload new content, or if you already have content in your account, you do drag and drop. So, for instance, if I click on, do I have something in UNESCO? Yes, so I have a world book. So if I want to bring this into Unimax, I can do drag and drop. Sometimes it tries to disgrace me, but I hope the Spirit is with me. So you can see I have it dropped on Unimax. So once I leave it, I click on Unimax. Come on. And you can see anytime you see this is a synchronized icon. So it's trying to sync what I'm doing. So you can see now when I come to Unimax, I have the same workbook in here. And assuming I want to add new like we did. So once I click on Unimax, and let's say I'm downloading something or uploading something from my pen drive, you can have it open like this, and then you go to add new and use any of this process. So right now, if I go to add file, any file at all that I upload folder. So you can see it's uploading down here. Yes, so you see it's setting up an e-library, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so any file at all, anytime you want to upload something, that's what you do. Okay, and then we come to this is quite simple. So how do you create a subfolder in Unimax? Somebody may ask. So when you click on this ellipsis, this three dots here at the edge, you click on it, you can see rename, make available offline, all sorts of options. And then you see new sub collection. And so once you choose new sub collection, the same allows you to create another one. So let's say my brain is going empty, so I'm trying to give it a title. I don't know why this is, but I'm tempted to type resetting Ghana.
Workshop. I think we can
Workshop.
yeah,
Thank you.
Mendeley workshop.
You should have said that earlier. Okay, so come on. Okay, and then don't forget to click on this small check mark. So you can see that it's indented. That tells you that it is a sub collection or folder under Unimax. So for the graduate students who are with us, you can do this to segment your chapters. And I'm saying this helps because it enables you to be able to upload content based on the chapters that you use them. Okay. So if I click on this, because I don't have anything in Mendeley Workshop, you can see it's empty. So you can follow the same procedure, either drag and drop, or you go to add files as I did earlier, and then you add content. Now, the last exercise we're going to do here is creating groups. So this is mostly good for the students and also faculty members who like to give group work, or if you have a group of researchers working on the same project, this helps. So you scroll down under groups and you come to create group. Okay, so let's do Ment workshop again. Okay, and then you check mark it. So we also have a group called Mendeley Workshop, which is here created today. So you can see that was also empty. Now, how do you add members to the group? So when you click on this ellipse, you have manage group. So you go to manage group, okay? And then you can see invite members. So you click on invite members. And then you can see the system is giving you how to invite them. So the first email up, the second one up. So you enter them line by line. Please don't do it continuous. So you follow as the system gives you the example. So an email will be sent to each member with the invitation. Each invitation will count towards the group limit of 100. Now, my account is a subscription based, which is why I can have 100 members in the group. I think you can have I may need to check this again, maximum of 5, and you can create a maximum of 20 groups or so. So you can see there's a 1 of 100. So if I create this, then I still have 99 more people to add into the group. So please watch that as you invite members. So this is good for group work. Now, how does it benefit when you invite members? So in a group work, instead of downloading and sharing articles related to the content, what you do is that you put them in the group folder. So once you invite members, every member of the group can upload content into this folder, and all other group members will also see and use it. And so for researchers who are working on a project, you can use it to upload the contents that are downloaded. So if you assign a librarian, for instance, to be searching for content for the project, what he or she needs to do is create something like this, share with the researchers on the project, and then as and when you are all writing, then you go in there and look at which is relevant to which portion of the work, and then you keep applying and moving on. Okay, so that's about groups. Any question as at now before I move to the next? So we have added content. We basically are done. So I'll just go to how to cite and then great. So I take it we are fine. Okay. So those who are following and doing
Hello,
as
sir.
I do, yes, sir.
Please, if your software is the old version, how to get the new one?
Also, just visit mendeley.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. You see download reference manager. Just that. You can actually have both on the system. It's not a problem. You can see I have the two on my status bar. So you can see the new one is more brighter. The older one, the background is a bit darker.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Fokker. Okay. So where were we? Now we are going to how to do the in-text citation. So if you are watching and acting, please open Microsoft Word. Once it's open, note that using the software means that on a project, you are going to be using Mendeley and then your Microsoft or your word processor, which most of us use Microsoft Word. So that requires a level of integration into the software. Now, those who are using the older version, you remember that you had to go to references to connect. Sorry, you go to, in the older version, once you're on the software interface, you went to tools, okay? And then you go to install Mendeley. I think it was taken off Mendeley Web Importer, Mendeley site. Yeah, Mendeley site. This time around, if you do it from here, it takes you to Microsoft and asks you to create an account. And so I'm just doing this so that when you hit this glitch, you'll be aware and then remember what I said. So when you try to do it from here, as we used to do in the previous version, this is the challenge you're going to face. So it's going to take you to Microsoft. You can see it's still loading by So it takes you to Microsoft Mendeley site. And then normally you're supposed to, it says price free, so get it now. But when you click, Microsoft is asking you to create an account. Okay, so the other way around it is to do it from Microsoft Word. If you want to create Microsoft account, that's no problem for me. But I'm saying that sometimes waste. Some of us, we don't like to be creating unnecessary account, putting your information in areas where you don't want to be found. So the easier way is to be Microsoft Word. And then for some of you, you go to insert, depending on the version of Microsoft Word. So for mine, I go to insert. You should see add in, my add-ins or store, any of this. Some of you find it under home, but wherever it is, please look for store or my add-ins. Store or add-ins. The location, as I said, will depend on the version of Microsoft Office you're using. So I'm assuming you've seen it or you're observing. So if I go to store, you have this dialog box. Now what we are doing is integrating the reference management software into Microsoft Word so that when you are on your project, you can use it to do your in-text citation and automatically populate the reference list. That's the exercise we are doing now. Okay, so you go to home or insert, you find my add-ins or store, and then you type the same Mendeley site, and then you click on add. Okay. Now, so in the new version, so those of you who have used the older version, realize that when you're doing your writing and citing, so I go to continue, you toggle between the word processor and then the reference manager. This time around in the new version, the system is designed to interface with the Office processor. So on the right bar, a bar is created on you at the right pane where you can actually see all your articles and select and cite instead of going, minimizing and maximizing. That's the intent now. So once you click, so you have it, Mendeley Cite, which is the plugin that enables you to do the citation and reference list population. So you go to Get Started. Yeah. So it's still trying to link to Mendeley to capture all the articles that are in my Mendeley account. So if I come to Mendeley, for instance, all these articles, if I come to all references, so these are all the articles I have. The software is trying to capture all of this so that when I'm in the Microsoft Word interface, I can find all of them here, which is now done. So if you're also doing it, please, if the internet is slow like mine, it may take some time. So just like this, yes. Okay, so now that we're here, let me go back to the website, the Unimark website that we visited. Did I close it? No. Yeah, so here we were here on the matriculation story. So let's assume we're writing something on this. And, so just for want of time, let's say we picked some piece of text. Now, the very student with us who may not be aware, one of the tricks to beat your similarity index in using the anti-plagiarism softwares is to just quote very small pieces of text. You know, some of us, in order to, we want to get so much, like we want our supervisors to know we are writing power, so we quote a whole paragraph, but just something small. The fact is that you are the one who said you want to tell us a story. So tell us and just let us know that, Kweku Mensah also agrees. Basically, that's it. Okay, so I copy this and I go back to Microsoft Word and paste. Oh no, did I copy? I don't think I did. Where are you? Okay, so I paste here. Now this piece of text belongs to Unimark, and so we have to cite. And so as most of us will normally do, according to, in the view of, as postulated by, blah, 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 whichever one you choose. So unlike previously where you normally have had to type Unimark 2025, so this time around you leave the cursor blinking after according to. Okay, let me add my two. So according to, and then you have to look for the material that you copied from the bibliography where you have the bibliographic details. Now remember we created it, so it was a Unimark. So this is it. Unimark holds third matriculation. So this is the file that we created. Okay. So you check mark it. Be sure the cursor is where you intend for the in-text citation to be. So you check mark. It says one insert, one citation. So you accept because that's what you intend to do. And that's what you have. Unimark, we agreed that it was 2025. So Unimark 2025. According to Unimark 2025, so this piece of text must change a bit, but just for want of time, so that it sounds good. Okay, so that's basically the citation. I told this part of it is very simple. So let's do something on multiple citations. So I'm using this the piece of text that I've taken from some website or some book, and I want to cite it. So if to do multiple citation, let me find some article. What by medical engineering. We're trying to cite this piece of text that I just roughly typed. The impact of technology in, so I choose this. We are doing multiple citation. So you check mark, so the system is picked 2. The scroll bar because of the interface is, let me see. So let me just click to accept from here. So we added 2, Institute of Electronic and blah, 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 2024, and then Leah and Albertine 2023. So just for us to see the impact, let me go to the next page and then create the bibliographic, the reference list. So we have references. So you put the cursor beneath. So to insert the references, you come to the top here, and then you click on the ellipsis symbol here. You see insert bibliography. Even this reference say insert bibliography. I hope my cursor is, yes, it is where it's supposed to be. So I click on insert bibliography. It says continue. So I had 3 inserted. Now, am I sure the reference style? So you go to citation settings. So citation style, American Psychological Association 7th edition. So if you need to change it, you just click on change citation and then you change it. Okay, so we have 3. Now remember that Unimark was the one we cited first, but then it's last because we are on AP and AP sorts alphabetically. So as you do, it will be sorting for you. So let's just enter something else and then cite another. So I go back to references. Please remember your tabs. Don't let the system abuse you, Guinea besides using blockchain, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I click on this. Choose this. So I'm doing multiple citation again. It's only 2. You can check mark as many as you want. And so Coubertin et al. So you go to your reference list and you can see it's populating and then what do you call it, sorting. And so if we need to change the reference style as I mentioned, please, what reference style is Unimark using? I believe APA, right?
APA.
Okay, great. Thank you, Madam Ajoa. So I go to change citation And then if I want, so University of South Africa, Harvard, IE, Vancouver. So Vancouver, IE, those are the ones that normally number the citation. So if I say update citation, basically that's it. So you can see instead of the indentation and all that, it's numbering them. And Unimark has come back up because in Vancouver, what it does is to assign numbers to the citation as and when you enter them. So for that one, it's numerical. So the one you cite first is number one. So number one here will mean when we go into the text, the first citation that we, so you can see change to one. Yeah, so basically that's about the citation. Please, any question? As at now,
Yes, please. Just a quick question.
please do.
All right. So when you look at the APA references that intercitation, assume that we are citing the author first before the statement or the sentence. It's only the number that is meant to be in bracket. But using the Mendeley, both the name
Please come again. Please come again.
Okay, so I'm saying that when it comes to the APA citation, intercitation,
yes,
the assumption is that if you are quoting somebody or you are making a statement and the author name is starting before the statement, it is believed that the year of publication is supposed to be in number, but not the name and the year all together. Like according to, then the year and the name all are in brackets. Like as he said there, according to Unimark, both the name and the year are all in brackets. Is that right for APA style?
Blessed art thou, son of man, among men. Okay, so that is not how it's supposed to be. Thank you for your observation, and I was hoping we all look at it and then. Okay, so those of you who use the previous version, you remember that in this case you were supposed to manually edit it. But this time around, the developers have changed that. So you can actually insert it. So if you, let's go back. So I go back to reference. Let me take this off. Thank you, Daniel, for observation. Okay, so here that was the Unimark. Okay, so you see, insert citation. When you pop, please, this is very critical. You need to note. Well, some of this, and sometimes we don't become aware until our supervisor is angry. So Unimark holds. So this is the content we use to cite here. All right. So what you do is that you pop this arrow down. You see, insert citation. It says insert as author year. So this is what Daniel is saying. So what it means is that the author's name is outside the bracket. All right. It's only when the in-text comes after the statement that both are in brackets. So it gives you this option this time around in the new version. So insert as author year, insert as author here. In this case, just the name. It depends on whatever exercise you're doing, and then insert as year. So what Daniel is saying, or rightfully, this is how it should be. So you choose insert as author year. This is what I was saying, that the cursor should always be where you intend for the citation to be. Okay, so I put it here according to. All right, then I come to Unimark and choose insert as author year, and then properly it is done. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yes, any other question? So please remember to do that so that your index is properly inserted. Hello. Okay, so whilst you're thinking about your questions or whilst you are overly satisfied with the exercise so far, I mentioned that sometimes when the date is not correct, please do not correct it in Microsoft Word. I want us to see something. So let's assume you enter this date. Later you found out that it was supposed to be 2025, and then you come here and delete it. And then you enter 2024. Okay. Now remember that this is actually a link from Mendeley. It's not a link in Word. It's not something that you type. And so if you do this, once you refresh the system, so overriding this citation prevent it from being, so the exam is even giving us a warning. All right, so it said revert to, but I am not going to revert. I'm going to, let's say, sync. There's supposed to be refresh somewhere. Where are you, Jack? So it's either when you refresh or you open and close the app, this will actually revert, because the data that is in here is not from Microsoft Word, or you did not type it. It's actually data that is coming from Mendeley, and so it will revert. So what you do is to go to Mendeley to change it. Let me see. Okay, so let me try the one in Microsoft Word here. Okay, now because I'm using the option for the older Mendeley, it's not working. But it's a refresh. I don't want to close and open, but why can't I locate this? There's a refresh button somewhere here. I'm afraid if I close, opening may take some time. Yeah, so what I'm basically saying that instead of changing from here, please go to Mendeley, you go here, and then look for the particular reference and change. All right, so if you intend for this to be 2024, you change it from here. Don't change it when you change from here, it will take effect in Microsoft Word. And so please beware. Now, this happens especially for those of you who do no date. Now, there's one trick as you think about questions that I use. If you find a material that has no date, what I advise is that please don't send no date to your supervisor. Go to Scholar, Google Scholar. Come on. So you go to scholar.google.com. So this is just one of the tricks to get by some of those difficulties. Oh no, my internet. Please, if you have a question, you can ask. I'm still on.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Mr. iPhone, you have two devices logged on at your end. Turn the volume for one off. iPhone, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, please, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, this is Yao. I'm from Kenya University.
Yes, Daddy.
I want to know if I'm using a Word, let me say a cracked version of Word, and it is not authentic, Microsoft authenticated account, Word, MS Word. Can I still use the Mendeley site?
This question is almost like you are asking me to teach you how to steal, how to pirate softwares. But it should work. If it doesn't, please get your IT guys to activate it. I know most institutions these days they have the official office package. And so please see if it's not, when you use the Mendeley site, it should work. But if it's cracked and it's not, it should be able to pick. If it doesn't, please get your IT guys to help you with that. I think even my operating system, got expired, and so I'm even facing the same. So, for instance, let's assume you, Mr. Abiam, are you okay? If you're okay, please mute. Okay. So let's assume you are something like this on Mastering Public Speaking, 10th edition. This is a book you are looking for. So go to Scholar. So you found this book or you found this article, it doesn't have a date. So go to Scholar, type the title, search for it. So let's assume this is it. When you have it, you can see cited by. So this one, for instance, has cited by 17. What it means is that 17 people have cited this. Now, from my experience, it's most likely that one of these individuals who have cited this article has the proper date. So what you do is that you go to cited by, and then you open one of their content. You download or open one. I go to their references, and you normally see the date. And then you come to Mendeley and correct it. So please, those who normally do know dates, please, this is one way by which, and I've been using for years, it works. You normally, by all means, find the date. Yes, hello, any other question? And then, as I mentioned during the intro, yes.
Mine is just a small contribution. I don't know, it could be that a time factor.
Okay.
You didn't explain the web importer. How do you use the web importer? I think another way that you can populate your library on Mendeley is to use the web importer. So that's another thing that you can use to populate your library by downloading the web importer, and then it will be sitting on your browser. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. And so from here, so we are working on Microsoft, Mendeley Desktop. And then when we finish, we'll briefly go online, which is where we do the web importer. So you're right, but we are yet to go there. I know you don't have a gun, so you are not jumping anything. Thank you. All right. So as I mentioned, basically, this is how you correct. And I also mentioned during the intro that when you're using the software, you're able to annotate and take note of areas or content that you may probably want to come back later. So to do that, you can open and read the software. Instead of reading the PDFs on your own, you can read them in the software. These ones, the attachment in says get PDF. Looking for, okay, good. Okay, so you can have the content opened like this and read, and then areas where you find instructive. Mostly you will not be aware until you come across them. And I'm saying that these are a few of the time wasters that you can come across. So you are using the system, you're reading to look for maybe something for an intro or something for sample, you come across something else for why you chose a particular strategy or something, and then you go across it later, you think, I think I found something in this. So instead of doing that, it's good if you read the article in the software so that you can annotate them. So assuming I highlight this, I can choose highlight. So this, as I have highlighted, it will stay like this until I no longer have need for them. And you can also put as annotate, you can also put some notes on it just to remind yourself of why you highlighted it. And this, I'm saying, it helps sometimes, especially for students. Your supervisor may challenge you on something and then you even forgot the book or the article from which you had it from. But if you do this, and especially for me, it's very important if you do this for all the areas in every article that you quoted something from. So instead of just copying to go and paste, once you do that, also highlight it. So in case your supervisor or the journal challenges you on it, it's easier to find instead of having to always go and look back. So one of the strategies is to create collections of folders to house them. And then the other is to always remember to annotate or highlight them as you copy and paste them in your work so that when you need to track back, it is easier. Okay. Now, as Mr. Abiamu mentioned, the software also allows us to do, so there are two interfaces. So we have the desktop, which is where we have worked so far. And then we also have the online interface, which I believe all of you visited when you were creating your account. And so for the online interface, you go to mendeley.com. So remember that when I was introducing the watch folder, I said that I don't use it or I no longer find it useful because of what Mr. Abiamu mentioned. If you can get your articles directly from the website to your account, why would you want to waste time downloading them into a folder before uploading them? And so that is what you do when you. So this is the Mendeley interface. The participant was asking about how to download. So once you get here, you go to downloads and then you can see reference manager. And now you have web importer. Now the last time I tried, this is what Mr. Abiamu was mentioning. So when you come to web importer, so web importer enables you to link your web browser to the software so that when you find articles or content, instead of downloading them to your desktop or a folder on your desktop, you can easily add them to your account. And then once they are synchronized, you have them both on your desktop and online. So depending on the browser you are using, this text may read differently. So get web importer for Edge because I'm using Edge. If you are using Chrome or Mozilla, that may also be different. Okay, so I click on it to connect. I wonder if I'm not already been connected. So please, depending on your browser, you connect this and use. Okay, so this from here shows that I'm already connected. So when I come to my apps, you should see the Mendeley web importer. So what I'm going to do is take it off and reconnect just so we all follow. Remove from Edge. So that's gone. So you see immediately it went off. It says get. So Mendeley web importer. And I'm saying that the web importer, just like the name sounds, is a plugin that allows you to import content, ebooks, and journal articles directly into your software without having to download them. Download and add. So this is how you do it. When you can click on it, as Abiam was saying, from the desktop, but then when you do it from here, it will still take you online, which is why I prefer to deal with it online from the Tools tab. So you can see install Mendeley Web Importer from here. But when you do it, it will still take you online. Okay, so I have it installed. So once this is done, which database? Let's go to Scholar again. Then I look for I'm trying to look for some articles or content on media ethics. So I have a few. So what we would have ordinarily done was to, normally I would go for the ones that have the full source, the PDFs attached. So normally you have to download this one after the other. But with the installation of the web importer, what you do is click on it and then you go to Mendeley Web Importer. So when you click on it, what the software is going to do is to capture these contents. So instead of you downloading them one after the other and then adding them to your account, you have the software capture them and then you select right from here. And it also helps you to direct them into particular folders that you want them housed. Okay, so normally, as I said, I will go for the ones that come with a PDF. So let's assume I choose this Global Media Ethics Revised. This is also Digital Media Ethics. I choose that. So just the two for demonstration. And then you can see from here. So say my library. So if I come here, we created a folder. So that folder by now should have synchronized. Where is it? The name was, I think, Unimac. You should be down here. Where are you? Okay, so that's here. So if I want it in this folder, so normally I will have to download it to my desktop and upload it. But with the web importer, you can easily do it like this. So once I've directed it to this folder, I've selected the two that I want, selected the folder that I want them housed in, then I go to add. So remember that we created these folders on the desktop, but whilst I'm online, I can see it, which is the other benefit of the software. So what this also means is that every article that we have added, the software has created copies on our web account, the cloud account, so that's what I mean by the machine independent, so that any machine at all you lay your hands on, all you need to do is sign in. The system will download all your content into the account and you can start working immediately. So you can see the two that I selected. It's a PDF check, reference check, PDF check, reference check. So let me see if I have them. Let me my library. Okay, and then I go to the Unimac folder. Should be there. No, it was in the Unimac. Okay, so it's still synchronizing. Let me hope that when it's done, it will come. Yes, so those are they. So media ethics. So this is it. So whilst it's synchronizing, I'm hoping that if I go to the desktop as well, copies should be downloaded on the desktop. So where's my Unimac collection? So for me, this is the major benefit of the file. So you don't, have any excuse saying that, oh, child, I left my laptop so I couldn't work. All you need is another machine. And if there's the journal contact you that you need to do some editing to finish a project, all you do is another machine and you can always do that. So this is also synchronizing, quite slow. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, so that's about the web importer. Is any question on that? So I can say that the web importer basically allows you to directly capture content from the website into your account, which is why I don't use the watch folder, because why would I have to download the content to the desktop and then upload them again and synchronize? It doesn't balance. So once you have it like this, then it means even downloading is taken care of, unless maybe files that friends and colleagues share with you, then fine, you can use that approach to upload them. And then the ones that you manually also add. Any question? Yes, and please, those who have been using the software, if there are areas that you think I should touch on that I've forgotten, we have done groups, we have done. So the process we follow to add collections, you can use it. So assuming this was a group project, so instead of using the Unimac folder, you go to groups and then direct the files into the groups folder. So every group member will see them. Yes, any question? And as I said, yes, Mokoko, let me hear.
All right. Thank you, sir. I think the training has
Adela,
been...
I can see your hand up.
Yes, please. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
The training has been very productive. I had been struggling with Mendeley for a while now, but I think I've been able to follow. So could you please take us through the place where you demonstrated the highlighting and the annotation? I got lost along the way and attempts to do it is proving futile. Thank you.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear now.
It's now on.
Yes, we
It's off.
can.
Oh, okay. Then, sorry, Adela Mokoko, I didn't hear your question.
Yeah,
Okay, so quick one. I wanted to know whether you could take us through the highlighting and the annotation.
The highlighting and annotation again. Okay, that's
Yes,
fine.
please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So with that, I was saying that we've all had instances where, for instance, you're on a paper, you're writing an article on your project work, and then you find yourself landing on, maybe you are looking for something for doing your literature review. And then you chance on some very nice write-up that you can use to justify your sample size selection. So what I'm saying is why gloss over that and go on with the work knowing that you'll still be looking for something like that. So instead of glossing over, highlight it. And that also helps the memory. It helps you to remember that you did something like that. And once you have it highlighted, it's easier for you to see it, because once you're able to, one, you are going to group all your articles in collections or folders. So once you go to, let's say, chapter 3, you know the content that are related to chapter 3. So when you open them, all you need to do after you have highlighted is to just scroll through the particular article and then pay attention on areas that you highlighted. It makes it easier for you to find this content. I don't know, it looks as if my system is being a bit slow. And then also, I was saying that, for instance, you could submit maybe a journal article or your project work, and then your supervisor is challenging you on some piece of text. Now, I have seen students struggle, writers struggle to find where they source for it, especially when you forgot to also cite. And even when you remember the citation in the article, you have over 1,000 content in your folder. How do you find it? So group them and then also highlight every single text that you copied and paste in the project. So that when you need to look for them, all you need to do is scroll through the content and then you are sure to find it. Oh, what's happening to my app? Okay, let me just close and open again, hoping it doesn't take too much. Please, if there are any other questions, you can come up or ask them. So, more whilst the app is opening, I was saying that to do the highlighting and annotation, you double click on the particular article, especially the full text. If you don't have the full text, you can't do that. So you double click on it and then it will open in the software. So instead of reading it outside the software, read it in the software so that you can highlight. And any highlights and annotations that you do, once you close the software, they will remain in it just as you did until you decide to take them off. No contributions for me? I know there are many experts online. Unimap, I didn't see you advertising this, but since you did some magic, you almost have participants from almost every university in Ghana.
Yeah, Mr. Eric, please, we are done. Are there any questions or we are done?
Currently, we are done. Moko was asking for a demonstration of
Okay.
the annotation. So let me just do that. My system went off. Let me just do that and then we'll call it.
Okay. Sure.
Yes, sir.
We have to think of another way.
Yes. So the question now. So once you have the article open like this, I hope my screen is still visible. My network is running very slow. Sorry about that. Yes. Or you have even used it. What I'm saying is it so that if challenges you on it, you can trace it in the particular document trying to look for it. And so that's suddenly gone very slow. But more in a way, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Mr.
So,
Moko.
so
Okay.
from
All
your
right.
statement, I attempted trying it and I've been able to do it.
Great. And you also see the essence for doing it, right?
Yes, please.
So
right.
especially also if it's let's say you have a group of researchers on a project, but be it a student assignment or whatever, this is also very good. So what it means that whatever you read and highlight, once you are reading it from the group folder, any other researcher on the project, once they open, they say that, oh, okay, Mr. Adela has highlighted this area. What is there? What is that? And it's always good for tracking back, and it saves time as well.
Sure.
Okay, Prof.
Thank you.
In the absence of any questions, I believe we have done. We started at 10. We had some glitches in a way, but we've done almost 2 hours. I'm very happy we're able to touch on all other areas. Thank you so much for your attention and participation, and I hope this will be useful. Now, one advice I always use, those who are seeing this or who are coming across this for the first time, kindly use it. The librarians in all your institutions, you may are good with these things. And so please start using it. I've had PhD candidates who attended some of my workshops, and then some of them thought that, oh, let me do the manual when I get to some point. By the time you get to the middle of the way, it's very difficult because if you start with manual and you need to come back to this when it's becoming difficult, what it means is that you have to find every single article you cited manually, upload them into the software, delete them one after the other, and then recite it with the software so the software can populate the reference list for you and also store the content. And so please start using it, face the challenges now, consult your librarians. If you need to call me, that's okay, and then you get to master it. That's how I self-tutored, and there are many like this. This is a very simple to use software. Don't postpone usage. Even on your next article, start using it, ask for help. There are so many videos on every aspect of what we have covered, and so you will be fine. Don't be scared. Don't let the system bully you. Take charge, and I wish you well. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric Amwafo. We couldn't be more grateful for your time and your skillful training on this. You know, this people pay a lot for this kind of stuff, but we've had it, from you today, and it's been a very, very helpful exercise. We really appreciate it. From the feedback, we can tell that at least all of us have been able to learn a thing or two from it. So we are very grateful about that. Yeah, definitely. And I I'll add my voice to what you said. I mean, it's very important to get into the routine of doing it earlier, so that at least it becomes a thing of nature or habit. So I'll add my voice to that, and we are very grateful. It's not all the time that we have the vice president of the African Liberian or Ghana Library. I said she joined us, though. It's been a great honor. Thank you. And thanks to the Unimark Library team for also putting this together. And finally, we are very grateful to the participants. I mean, like you were saying, the participation was quite encouraging, quite impressive. So thank you to everybody who took their time to do this. Dred is also very grateful. So in the absence of any other discussion, we've been seeing Mr. Eric's face all this while. Please, can we put on our camera so that we take a screenshot, for the sake of our whatever, our ACA records, so everybody can put on their video, and we can take a screenshot for our video purposes. So I've asked some members of my team to do the screenshot. I hope they are able to do it, so that
Once they are recording too, they can always do it later.
Do that. Okay.
While we put the videos on and the system captures, they can do it now or later. Yes.
Or later. Okay. Okay. So please, everyone should kindly put on their video, and for the recording, I'm sure we can get it from George. So George, we'll be getting in touch with you for the recording, and also try and get a screenshot now before we all leave.
So then, Paul, can we put our email there so that after recording can be forwarded to the emails if possible?
Okay. So he's saying you should put your email there. Everyone should put their email there. And please also, George, if you can get a screenshot for me, I'll appreciate that. Okay, are we good? Hello, George, did you get a screenshot? Hello, George. Can you hear me?
Mr. Franham, I suspect you are on it, right? So you can just scroll through the various pages so that the system will capture them.
Yeah, please, Mr. Fane is the host now, so he can do that for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Mwafu, I still see your screen shared. Can you stop sharing so that I'll get to
Okay. All right. It's okay now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone, please put on the video so that we can get this done. Mr. Franny, please, are you able to get it?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the gallery view is better. So if you can change the view to gallery view, that will give us more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me take some shots.
So the faces I'm seeing makes me feel like we have just had a family meeting. It seems I know everybody.
A lot of familiar faces, right?
Yes. That's great.
All right. So, well, thank you everyone once again for joining us. We hope that hopefully we'll have more of such collaborations, and that this will not be the end of it. Have a nice rest of the day. And once again, thanks to our resource person, Mr. Eric Amwapo.
Thank you too, Prof. It's an honor.
Okay. Nice day, everyone. Okay,
Nice
so
day
bye
to
for
you.
now. Yeah.
Ericos.
Yay.
Ericos, God bless you. We are grateful.
Bless you too. You're welcome.
Very, very grateful.
Okay, so bye-bye.